Okay, today I'm going to teach you how to do energy readings of various materials. You have crystals, tower busters. This is a piece of organite. But there's a scale called the Bovis, B-O-V-I-S scale. It's a measure of biophoton activity. It's basically the closest thing we can measure spiritual energy with, but we can get a numerical representation of that, of how strong relative crystals and stuff are. It was discovered by a guy named Anton Bovis. These notes I found. A French archaeologist physicist, while doing research regarding the pyramids, noticed that there appeared to exist an energy phenomenon that would be useful. He called it a life force scale. This scale measured the life force in various items such as food and water. The stories of pyramids and energies and razor blades began here. The truth of the razor blade stories are of no interest to this person here, and he was interested in the scale, and he lived in the 1920s. So pretty good, but this Bovis scale has become the pretty much recognized system for measuring spiritual energy. So to give a reference, basically the average baseline person runs about 8 to 10,000 Bovis. Just as a baseline, and you could, as you charge crystals up, put energy into them. If you run Reiki or energy into a crystal, you can you can bring up the Bovis. So, and once you get an understanding of what Bovis is, you'll start to you kind of calibrate yourself. You start tuning into it. So, what I do is I need to find factors. I'm going to start with this piece of rose quartz. It's been sitting outside. My home is pretty charged, so I kept this rose quartz out of it to get more of a fair reading. So what I do is if you know how to use a pendulum, you can have it give you yes and then show you no. You know, this is no for me, and then that's yes, straight up and down. So I'm going to get a scale for this rose quartz. Is it a factor of 1,000? Is it over 1,000 Bovis? Let's start. Okay, this rose quartz. Is this rose quartz over 10,000 Bovis? Is this piece of rose quartz over 100,000 Bovis? No, so we have a scale. We know it's in the 10,000 scale. So we put the pendulum here and ask, let the number, how many 10,000? And I like to use all things considered, because we want to take into account anything that we may not be accounting for, and that's made a big difference. That's accounted for any blockages and stuff that might be there. Truly, as it is, how many Bovis? So all things considered, how many 10,000 Bovis is this piece of rose quartz? And it's going, I get 60,000. And I say, all things considered, is it true and accurate that this piece of rose quartz is at least 60,000 Bovis? Yes. Okay, and now I get the thousands digit. All things considered, what is the thousands digit? 60 what thousand? $68,000. All things considered, is it true and accurate that this piece of rose quartz is 68,000 Bovis? And we have an estimate there. 68,000 Bovis is pretty good. Your average tower buster that you put out could be between 18 and 25,000 made. Not charged, just made in a place that's not really highly charged. Average, you'll get about 18 to 25,000. So 68,000 Bovis is pretty good. If you're energy sensitive, you could tune in and you could feel it. And I'll talk more in other videos of what it takes to get to higher, like supercharging and stuff. But 68,000 Bovis for a piece of rose quartz sitting out in my truck by itself, away from all the high energy, that's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to tune into this piece, and I find I don't have to forcefully tune into it. I just ask my higher self. I say, higher self, am I talking to my higher self for my highest good? Are there any negative influences that are going to affect my results? No. And if you have influences, you can clear them. Please clear all negative influences from my persona, whatever. And you can put positive energy in too, if you need to. But I don't have any negative influences that are going to play any, whatever, mischievous spirits playing or energies playing with my pendulum, kind of lying to you. And you get a feel, you start trusting, because later in the higher scales you'll start doubting, is it really, is it, and you learn not to, you just learn to accept, don't be attached to the result. Verify. That's why I do, you know, is it true and accurate that this piece of rose quartz is around 68,000 Bovis? B-O-V-I-S, Bovis. Yes. Okay. All things considered, is it true and accurate that this tower buster is at least 10,000 Bovis? Yes. All things considered, is it true and accurate that this tower buster is at least 100,000 Bovis? And this tower buster was in my house around some other highly charged. All things considered, is it true and accurate that this tower buster is over 1 million Bovis? No. Okay. All things considered, how many 100,000 Bovis is this tower buster as it is right now? And show me EV. Sometimes it goes between the numbers. You're like, show me only whole numbers. All things considered, is it true and accurate that this tower buster is 400,000 Bovis? Yes. All things considered, how many 10,000 Bovis is this tower buster here? Please show me only whole numbers. 60. All things considered, is it 460,000 Bovis? Okay. All things considered, show me the thousands digit. 460 what? 463,000? All things considered, is it true and accurate that this tower buster is 463,000 Bovis? And have fun with this. We have a 463,000 Bovis tower buster, which is like incredible considering the average is 18 to 25. But I'm going to teach you how to supercharge materials in another video. A 68,000, and I could run energy into this if you. The best thing I found to run energy to learn is called quantum touch. I'm not a practitioner, but I'm reading it out of books, so I can't teach it or anything. But you can get the books. It's really good. It's like a live. Your hands feel like a live wire and stuff. I might do demo videos later of that, but I can't really, you know, teach it per se. I can show techniques and stuff. But a 468,000 Bovis tower buster, I mean, that's gonna do some real work there. And you can supercharge cloud busters and things like that. And I've been doing some research and stuff like that, and the possibilities are incredible. So there's your little ditty there on how to read Bovis values, so you can compare crystals and get the energy value, the biophoton readings. It's biophoton, how much energy is this putting out? And you could say in all dimensions. I say all things considered, so I haven't really determined if that's just third dimensional or higher dimensional energies. I'm just concerned with the total output as relates to us. So go around testing your food. If it's below, like anything 9,000 or above, 9,000 or above is beneficial for you. Anything less than that tends to not be so good. So you can charge your food. There's a 995 geometry where you put your finger around it. You do a circle clockwise. 995. And that, I haven't measured that too much, but that's a technique people use to bring their energy of the food over 9,000 Bovis. Test yourself, test different materials. If anything's, you know, you want it to be over 9,000 because then it becomes good, beneficial for your body. They say 6,500 could be neutral. I like to push it to 9,000, especially with all the ascension energies coming in. Learning how to supercharge and read is becoming more and more important. I think it will be really beneficial for anybody. And I'll teach you more on supercharging and how energies interact in a future video. Thank you.